What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Josh Reese. Today we're going to be talking about something super fun, and that's how I was able to get through my college experience without any money in debt, and actually, in just 1 year, able to grow my net worth to about $40,000. So, a lot of people have trouble going into debt for college, and that's a big thing these days. Most people can't even get through their undergrad, and especially not their postgraduate education, without going into a lot of debt. And so today I just wanted to share some of the things that I've been through that hopefully I can help you join the same boat, as in make sure that you can get through your education without having to feel like you need to go into massive amounts of debt. And although debt can be a thing that can get you the investments that you need to make, especially in education, you don't have to. You don't have to be a slave or give up your freedom to be able to make smart financial investments in your future. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the choice of school. So many of you live in a state that has a state school. And those, although maybe not as, quote, good of an education as, let's say, Harvard or some well-known Ivy League school like that, will have just an impact on your life and your education as any other school. So what I'd say is maybe not the cheapest option is the best option, but definitely don't do an option that's more than 5 to 10 grand a semester, because that's just going to be past your earning power as a student. You're going to give up so much freedom if you need to go into that much debt, that grants or scholarships or your ability to earn money is not going to be able to dig you out of that hole, and the hole's just going to get deeper. So, for example, I'm from Washington State, and so University of Washington or Washington State University would have been super cheap. But I actually am a part of a church that has a private university that if you tithe for the church, you get a slight discount in your tuition. That combined with an academic scholarship, I was able to only have to pay about $2,000 per tuition per semester, which would have been significantly cheaper than if I wanted to go to any other university. Maybe I could have found a cheaper community college or gotten a better scholarship if I'd applied to a Washington State school. But I found this to be where my, future would lead me as far as majors and opportunities and that as well. So I'm here at BYU, and it's been amazing. So the next thing I'd say is grants and scholarships. Now, if you're someone that doesn't know about grants, doesn't know about scholarships, that's okay. You can learn as much as you need to learn and be able to really get a significant amount of money without knowing much. So the first thing I want to talk about is a Pell Grant. Now, if you're one of those people like me who met the love of their life during college, I would suggest you don't wait. If you know they're the one, don't rush into things, but don't hesitate too much or cohabitate and go ahead and get married. The reason for that is because the government gives you what's called a Pell Grant for married students that are going through their undergrad. And this Pell Grant can be up to $6,000 per year per couple, which is, if not a significant chunk of your education could be the whole thing, depending on what school you're going to. So personally, the Pell Grant covered almost all of the tuition for my wife and I, which, when we got married, which was just a few semesters left, but it substantially helps out the financial burden, especially in our last year and a half of school. The next thing I'd probably say, as far as helping out with education and with money, is getting a part-time job. So a lot of people want to be able to go through college and focus on their studies and make sure they have a good GPA, but a part-time job will actually help you out almost as much as a scholarship could. So there's studies that have found that people with part-time jobs not only earn more money than people without part-time jobs, right? Obviously, but they also do better in school, which I found to be personally true. My first semester of school, I had good grades, but my first semester of college, I didn't have a job for maybe the first month, and it was horrible. Like, I'd come home from school, not know what to do with my life. Like, I'm not one of those frat boys that just wants to party all day, every day. But I did hang out with friends, at least a few hours a night, and I just found I had too much time on my hands. So I got a job, the quickest I could. I think it was like a custodian, just taking care of a building for about 4 hours in the mornings. And it improved my productivity so much. I could fit so much more into a day, and plus I was making enough to cover rent, which is a lot at the time. And so not only did I make enough money to cover my rent, but I actually was able to start a savings account, which was huge for me at the time. That time I was kind of relying on parents a little bit. They weren't able to contribute too much, but before I had significant amount to pay and my savings ran out for college from my high school, working in high school, before that savings ran out, I was able to get a job which covered rent, and it was so nice to be able to just breathe a little bit more financially. Back to scholarships. One thing that's important is you need to make sure that you take care of your GPA. Because most universities actually offer an academic scholarship where if you do well enough in school, for my university right now, it's about a 3.9. If you have about a 3.9 or above, depending on your major, you can qualify for a full tuition scholarship, which would be huge for anyone. And that was the case for me for one semester. I was only ever able to have one semester where I could get a full tuition scholarship, but that was amazing. That was it was so cool. And they had half tuition scholarships for a little bit below that. I don't qualify for those anymore either. But make sure, if you can, just take care of your GPA. If that means spending an extra 30 minutes a day studying, that could be the difference of a few $1,000s or more at the end of your college experience. In my personal case, once I was not able to get that financial scholarship anymore, I actually became a workaholic. So once I knew that my GPA wasn't going to be, 3.8 and above, I actually held 3 jobs. And I still have those 3 jobs that I work every day. I work as an optometrist, assistant, and vision therapist, which is kind of nice because it'll give me connections and experience for what I want to do in the future. And also, I work as a chemistry lab assistant because it's just a fun job. And then I also work teaching Spanish part-time, so online. So those jobs are not only fun and keep me entertained and keep my life going. But they also bring in a lot of money that I can use to just not have to worry about rent, not have to worry about savings, emergency, because just in the last year I've been able to grow from about $3,000 in savings just from that part-time job, with this year of working 3 jobs, having over $38,000 in investments and savings accounts, Roth IRAs. And so it is, you can do exactly what I'm doing. Maybe not to the extent where you weren't able to find a college institution with as cheap as tuition, or you weren't able to qualify for the kinds of grants because of different habits or things like that. But I do want you to know that you can make it through college with a minimal financial burden on yourself and on your future spouse, your future kids. I know something that student loan debt can really consume and take over people's lives. So I know that as you just try to at least live some of the principles of looking for scholarships, or of looking for scholarships, working while you're doing it, making sure you choose your institution with finances in mind, that you can come out of college debt-free. See you later.